So let's look at some other ways of doing this. Now, when you take a look at this piece of code here, one of the things that pops out is I have these buttons that I'm adding actions to, right? Now, if we were good object-oriented programmers, the button would do things for itself. That's what we've been taught in Object-Oriented 101. Objects do things for themselves. So instead of somebody telling the button what to do, the button should do it, right? That makes sense. Let's take a look at what that does. So now what I'm doing, let's take a look at a little add button here. So here's a little add button. This button here takes in a list and a text field. Those are the things he's going to act upon. And then he says, when I'm pressed, let me go ahead and add the item from the text field to the list. That makes sense, right? The button is doing things for himself. Let's take a look at the remove button. The remove button, he takes in the list. That's all he needs. And he does things for himself. That makes sense, right? It's beautiful, isn't it? Until you start thinking about it. Let's take a look at our GUI. And what I did is I kept the same structure of the GUI from that last example, but you'll notice that now I'm just adding these buttons that have the self-contained logic. So I'm no longer having the GUI tell the buttons what to do. That's a plus, right? The actual working logic of the application is now no longer in the GUI setup. And that's actually pretty nice because now I don't have to worry about if I change the structure of the GUI breaking my business logic. As long as I have the add and the remove button and the list and the text field, it'll still do the same action. Now, did you notice anything about that last sentence I just said?